She came back also for the closing. It was
saw the reports as well.
Dr. Remy was able to go.
Yes, very well. Enriching as usual.
is the description I gave a bit fair, but
Yes.
my colleague said
Inshallah.
inshallah, the Global American Conference will be in Colombia.
Colombia.
Yes, Colombia extended an invitation to host the geographical rotation rule, let's say.
Rule, yeah.
So after Nigeria,
Yes.
Africa, we went to Jordan, the Arab states, and now we go to
Colombia.
promoted among students, pupils, etc. We want also the city as an urban space to promote the message about media and information. Billboards on transportation, whether it's
Exactly,
metro,
yeah.
buses, trains, parks. And that's we published a document which is with operational manual about how can a city, you know, if one city from some member states would like to be a pilot MIL city with UNESCO.
Yeah.
The pilot cities were this
MIL
concept of
city.
MIL city. Yes, that's right.
That would be a good one. We're always willing to take up challenges. We finally come to fruition, and we will not be tired of taking over additional responsibility of providing that pilot center. I don't know what that will entail. Jordan.
Amman Jordan.
Okay.
Amman Jordan is interested to be among the pilot MIL cities.
Abuja can.
Okay.
Yes, we'll
Excellent.
be very willing to
Yeah.
to collaborate with UNESCO in that direction. And Abuja will be very glad to be part of that. The president, and let me jump now.
It's a pressing topic.
Yes.
It's becoming urgent in the sense that we need, as you know, to commission an expert to carry out this feasibility study.
Yes.
Typically, that would take a month or so. We need to have it before the end of January in order
To have what? What do you need to have?
the study, the feasibility
study.
study, submitted
Yes.
to us
Okay.
Yes.
by the expert.
Yeah.
Okay.
So first,
Before end of January.
before the end of January. So first we need approval by the General Conference of
Yes.
UNESCO.
Yes. Yeah, hoping so.
That meeting will be in Samarkand, Uzbekistan. In a way, that's a tacit endorsement by the member states of the guidelines of UNESCO for the governance.
If you don't mind.
Yes, we have here French, Arabic, we have English.
The city.
That's the best cities.
To do first.
Vas-y, Christine.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. I was delighted this afternoon to host at UNESCO headquarters in Paris
Alhaji Mohammed Idris, Minister of Communication and Information and National Orientation of Nigeria. And he was accompanied by Her Excellency Dr. Sani, Ambassador and Permanent Delegate of Nigeria to UNESCO. We discussed three important topics. First of all, setting up the Global Institute on Media and Information Literacy in Abuja, and to have it as a Category 2 center of UNESCO. This is one of the outcomes of the Global Media and Information Literacy Conference that Nigeria has kindly hosted a couple of years ago in the city of Abuja itself. So I'm glad that that outcome is now being advanced, and there is a clear procedure which has been started in order to have, hopefully next year, the UNESCO General Conference formally approve through a vote by its 194 member states, approve setting up this Global Media and Information Literacy Institute in Abuja. It will be a first of its kind worldwide, and we are delighted working with Nigeria on this very promising project, which aims at combating misinformation, disinformation, hate speech, and other harmful online content. These are, as we know, the harmful online content is one of the things we are living with, because today the youth, but also adults, spend so many hours a day connected to social media and internet platforms, and we need to ensure that information online is fact-checked, is objective, is not deepfake or fake news or misleading. And this is part of this media and information literacy objectives. We want to make the users of the digital platforms become media and information literate citizens. The second topic we discussed is having Abuja as a pilot city among the first set of cities that UNESCO is establishing to become a media and information literacy city. The idea here is that this topic of media and information literacy should not be only kept in or through formal and informal education, but it should also be very much present in the public space, in the city itself, through maybe billboards, through centers for education, for sports, for the youth, through transportation, in parks. This is a very important message, and sometimes we say people who use the platforms should think critically and click wisely. This is one of the messages that we want to convey. And thirdly, we discussed the initiative that UNESCO has undertaken quite recently over the last 3 years, an initiative called For an Internet of Trust. And this initiative has culminated a year ago with the publication by UNESCO of a global guidelines for the governance and regulation of digital platforms. We are now engaging some member states, and I'm glad that Nigeria is one of them, to discuss the possibility of a pilot implementation of the UNESCO guidelines for the digital platforms. And His Excellency the Minister expressed the readiness of Nigeria both to be a pilot media and information literacy city, but also to be a pilot member state of UNESCO to contextualize and consider implementing in Nigeria the UNESCO guidelines for the regulation of digital platforms. This has been a very fruitful visit by His Excellency, a very productive discussion, and we look forward to stronger cooperation with such an important country worldwide, not only in Africa, that is Nigeria.
Well, we have come to visit Dr. Jelassi, who is the Assistant Director-General in charge of information and communication for UNESCO. This is a follow-up visit on the hosting right that UNESCO has given to Nigeria to host a Category 2 institute, the first of its kind the world over. And Nigeria is happy to take up that challenge, to take up that responsibility of having that very big MIL Institute. MIL Institute means Media and Information Literacy Institute in Nigeria. This is an institute that we hope, UNESCO hopes, and the whole world hopes that will help in combating fake news, disinformation, misinformation, hate speech, to reduce it to the barest minimum. So this effort by UNESCO is a welcome development for Nigeria, and that is why Nigeria has decided to not just accept it, embrace it, but also to ensure that we host a very successful institute for the future generation. I want to say that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been extremely supportive. All the necessary approvals and grants required for the take-up of this MIL Institute has been not just been approved, but also been made available to the Ministry of Information and National Orientation for the full take-off of that. We want to thank UNESCO. We want to thank Dr. Jelassi for this kind gesture once again, and for ensuring that Nigeria did succeed when the General Assembly finally convenes to give the formal approval to Nigeria to host it. Let me also say that there is also a new challenge of hosting the MIL cities. This is a pilot scheme that UNESCO is also coming up with to set up MIL cities around the globe. About 5 centers are envisaged around the globe. Nigeria is craving to be one of those centers. We have given assurances to UNESCO that Nigeria will indeed provide that center, so that the pilot scheme that is so desired by UNESCO will be made available by Nigeria, in addition to 4 other centers that will come around the world. And let me also say that I've also received a document for the guideline for the digital platforms from UNESCO. This is an effort that UNESCO has been working on and has finally put together. It's a guideline, if you will, a regulation for the for all digital platforms around the world. There are over 10,000 entries received from around the world, from over 134 countries. A group of experts have sat and come up with this guideline that will help in providing the necessarily basic guidelines for the operation of digital platforms the world over. We want to also use the opportunity to say that Nigeria will study this, and if we find it very worthy, as I expect that we will, also domesticate it for the use of digital platforms in Nigeria. So once again, we want to thank UNESCO. We want to thank Dr. Jelassi for this kind gesture, and we want to recommit ourselves to holding ourselves accountable to all the procedures put down by UNESCO, so that we can ensure that we have an MIL center. We can also have a fully regulated digital platforms for our country, for the good of all, and 3, for also providing that pilot for MIL cities that UNESCO envisages to have. Thank you.